Well, hello, and welcome back to Superhero Saturday with Johnny Tiger. What the hell is Superhero Saturday? Well, obviously, it's a makeup version of Toy Thursday, and I know our video titles is just like all over the place lately, but hey, life has been difficult. Well, let me rephrase that. Life has been good, but a little bit chaotic sometimes, and I'm just happy I'm still able to get videos out. So if you got to get action figures on the Saturday, then you get action figures on the Saturday. Uh, Better than nothing, right? And it's not like I'm making up excuses. If you guys saw the Throwdown Thursday that I posted, you know I haven't been just sitting around doing nothing. This is training and sparring and teaching students and a lot of things to do. Uh, anyway, enough sitting here giving out excuses. In front of the camera, we have this militaristic looking lady. And if you guys have watched Deadpool number two, the movie Deadpool number two, then you would probably recognize her. She is none other than the mutant mercenary by the name of Domino. Now, Domino in the movie was a bit wonky. Her power was a bit wonky. Uh, but she did make a very good action figure. And this one is a very good action figure. Uh, we are not going to spend too much time talking about her, but she is a good opener for today's episode. Because today we are celebrating Make Your Own Luck Day. Make your own luck day. Basically, every day you get up, you should just tell yourself you're going to grab luck and fortune by the horns and wrestle them into submission. You're going to place yourself in the right places, the right path, do the right things. So you create your own fortune. Now, if you remember Domino, then you would remember that her power is somewhat like that. I mean, when you talk about make your own luck, right? Domino would be one of those that come natural to her because her superpower is manipulating random circumstances, happenstances, random probabilities. So if she want to hit you in the face with her bullet, she can shoot in a completely different direction, and that bullet somehow is going to bounce off of something and come back and hit you on the face, just because of how she's able to manipulate luck and fortune to turn events to her favor. Now, as I said, in the movie, she was a bit wonky because I guess they were trying to make it funny, and so her power somehow didn't really work as intended in the movie. But in the comic book, she is definitely a lot more uh, lethal, a lot more serious, and her power is a lot more handy to have than what we saw in the movie. Now, back to Make Your Own Luck Day. This day was created by one J. Richard Falls from Irving, Texas. I don't know who J. Richard Falls is, why he's able to just create a special day. Uh, like, are we at an age where anybody who is on Facebook and Twitter can just announce today's a special day for something? Maybe someone can tell me how that works. Like if I want to say today is, I don't know, eat 10 hot dogs day, can I just go announce that and from here on out it will be a thing every day? Or how does this work? Anyway, so J. Richard Falls created this day in 1995. And why is it on this day? Because this is his birthday. Okay, he put this day, Make Your Own Luck Day, on the same day as his birthday to inspire people to go out there and create their own path in the world. Yeah, kind of an inspirational day, but like I said, I still have no idea who the Dickens is. J. Richard Falls. I tried to Google it, and it didn't really tell me anything. So yeah, maybe someone can enlighten me on that too. So since we are not going to just look at Domino, even though she definitely uh, warrants an episode of her own, this is really quite a nice action figure. We're going to look at another superhero whose power is uh, basically the same. He is able to generate good luck for himself wherever he goes. We are going to look at a hero by the name of Longshot. So who is this good-looking gentleman? Longshot came from the same universe as Domino. They both came from the X-Men comic books or X-Men universe. And Longshot has been on and off one of the X-Men team members uh, for various adventures. His story is complicated and goofy, and thankfully not super long. At least because I don't know too much about him, so it's not going to be super long. So let's see what we know about this gorgeous looking individual with long blonde hair and blue eyes. Well, blue eye. I mean, his left eye is kind of a glowing. That's part of his superpower. Or actually, that's the indication that he's using his superpower. The glowing eyes actually doesn't do anything that I know about. It's just an indication that his power is activated. But who is this guy? Well, he came from a planet or a world called Mojo World. I didn't even make that up. It does sound that stupid. It's called Mojo World. But what is Mojo World? Well, Mojo World is like this world that's ruled by a tyrant whose whole thing is create his own television shows. Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's goofy and ridiculous. So if there's this planet called Mojo World. He's led by Mojo. And Mojo is this tyrant who's like, well, imagine Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars. Then you have a pretty good idea. Big, fat, spineless, boneless, blobby, crazy kind of guy. So Mojo, this warlord who ruled Mojo World, want to kidnap people and create people to serve him. And the way you serve him is to uh, play parts in his personal reality TV shows where he would have gladiator arena and uh, uh, reality shows and contests and things like that. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot more, but that's basically Mojo. And Mojo World is uh, every so often he tried to enslave the entire Earth, or he tried to enslave superheroes into being on his television show. Yeah, I know, really weird. Anyway, Longshot was created using the genetic of one of the X-Men called Shatterstar. Now, those of you who don't know, it's okay, it's not important. Shatterstar is one of the X-Men that uh, use swords. He uses a pair of swords and he can generate like explosive energy using his swords. Really cool character. I wish I have him, but I don't. Um, so the story goes that a future version of Shatterstar traveled back in time to do something, to try to stop some kind of evil, to fight evil. Uh, just imagine Terminator. Yeah, you guys know how in Terminator they want to go back in the past to stop someone before they become evil or become a threat. So just imagine the plot like that. Yeah. So Shatterstar went back into the past, got captured by Mojo, but and was brought to Mojo World. And even though in the end he was rescued, he was able to return to the future. His genetic material, his DNA, got extracted. So Mojo used the DNA of Shatterstar from the future to create a superhuman that would be his personal slave. And this superhuman is Longshot. Ironically, later Longshot would then travel to Earth, meet up with the X-Men, fall in love with one of the X-Men members called Dazzler, and Dazzler and Longshot would end up having a baby, and that baby will grow up to be Shatterstar. Boy, if that doesn't give you a headache, I don't know what will. So you got to think. So Shatterstar is essentially uh, because his DNA was used to create Longshot. So Shatterstar is Longshot's dad, sort of, and the Longshot married Dazzler and had a baby, and that baby grew up to be Shatterstar. So it's like a circular, incestuous future past, really weird story that's going on here. Like I said, it's cringe worthy and headache worthy. So, like I said, future Shatterstar captured by Mojo. Mojo took his DNA, created Longshot to be his personal slave. Unfortunately, maybe because it's the DNA of a superhero, so Longshot did not want to be Mojo's slave. He wasn't as compliant as Mojo wanted him to be. And very quickly, he found himself leading a rebellion against Mojo. He became a very popular hero on Mojo World, the leader of the rebellion, the one shining beacon of hope for the people oppressed by the warlord Mojo. Unfortunately, then he was captured by Mojo, and as a form of punishment, Mojo was going to wipe his memory, uh, wipe his brain, and make him a mindless, uh, obedient slave by force. But before Mojo could succeed 100%, uh, Longshot ran away, escaped, and found an interdimensional portal that took him to Earth. Next, we found Longshot wandering around the Earth with memory loss, didn't know who he was, where he came from, and went on a whole bunch of adventures, fell in love with a human woman, and then somehow one day when Mojo came to conquer Earth, he actually helped drive Mojo back to Mojo World and saving the Earth. Unfortunately, he again got captured by Mojo. And this time, Mojo did wipe his memory again. And because he, even with his memory loss, was so much trouble for Mojo on Mojo World. Because, like I said, he's a hero. He's a hero for the rebellion. So as long as he's on Mojo World, the rebellion have hope that they would succeed. So Mojo decided, you know what? I'm just going to wipe your memory again and then throw you back to Earth and let you be a nobody there. Um, and that's basically the recurring scene of Longshot is he's this hero who is from Mojo World, and every so often he will go back to Mojo World and try to try to overthrow uh, Mojo, and then Mojo would do something horrible to his memory, and he end up back on Earth. And the next time, when he finally get his memory back, the whole thing would repeat itself, uh, and so on and so on. Like I said, kind of a complicated story, but not very long because it's a recurring story. Uh, What are his superpowers? Well, to begin with, he's very good looking. Um, his his genetic make him almost like human, but not quite. I mean, he got a gorgeous long blonde hair and the blue eyes and a handsome feature. And but he only has 3 fingers on each hand, and he has 2 hearts inside his body. His skins are also tougher than human skin. His skins are almost like leather, and he has the superpower to manipulate good luck, luck into his favor. So he manipulates reality and probability, and as a result, part of his superpower is he can make any woman fall in love with him. Whew. I bet just a lot of dudes out there wish to have that superpower, eh? Longshot stands about 6 foot 2 inches tall, and he is quite slender, lean, and muscular. Um, but even though he's 6 foot 2 inches tall, his unique physiology means he's only 80 pounds. Can you imagine? Like this guy is only 80 pounds because his skeleton, his bones are hollow. I don't know about you, that doesn't sound very good to me. I mean, having hollow bones, I mean, to me, that sounds like he would break very easily. Uh, but he also comes with super speed, durability, and endurance, and a limited degree of regeneration and healing power. Perhaps the most notorious of his power, other than being able to make any woman fall in love with him, uh, because he manipulates uh, probability and luck. So he is a master at throwing weapons and shooting and any kind of uh, activity that require aiming and hitting your target. He his favorite mode of attack is throwing knives at his opponents. This action figure of Longshot was made recently, just last year, I believe, in the Marvel Legends Retro X-Men line. This was made by Hasbro, and it's a fine figure. It is really a good figure. Even though personally I have no attachment to this character, it's not a character that I was familiar with as a child, so I'm not particular about this character, but he is a cool character, and this is a cool action figure. He got his blonde hair in a really cool looking mullet, long in the back, short in the front. Uh, kind of the kind of hairstyle I had for a while during COVID. Uh, Kitten didn't like my mullet, so I'm regrowing my hair slightly different this time. Um, and in on this action figure, you can actually see one of his eyes. His left eye is kind of glowing effect going on, symbolizing he's using his power. His build is kind of slender but very muscular and uh, trimmed. He's wearing this black bodysuit with bandolier across his chest, and these are holding a whole lot of throwing spikes. He got like throwing knives and throwing spikes all across his chest, and he got a knife holstered at his right hip and a bunch of more pouches around his waist. Uh, he also sports a new style of pinless joints, so you can't really see pins on his knee joints and elbow joints. Across his shoulder, he's wearing a man purse, and that's sort of another thing that I kind of find really cool about this guy because he got a mullet. I had a mullet for a while, and I do tend to wear a man purse, kind of like that. So that's pretty cool. Most of his bodysuit is black. His boots are black, but his belt, the bandolier, and his man purse. Those are like a brown leather color, and all the zippers and buckles are hit nicely with silver colors. Like I said, long hair, blonde, blue eyes, good looking dude. Another reason why I like this guy is he's a knife guy. He likes to throw knives, and I like to work with knives as well. Of course, since he's made by Hasbro in the Marvel Legends line, he is really well articulated with, again, like I said, pinless joints, and he got double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, his shoulders, his head is kind of limited. His neck joint is kind of limited by the long hair, but that cannot be avoided really. Waist articulation is very good. He can crunch forward, turn his body, his hip and knees and thighs, ankles. He can get into a lot of cool poses. Definitely more than enough for a character like this. For accessory, he comes with four different hands. One of them is the one I have on his left hand right now. This is my favorite hand option. It's portraying his left hand with three small throwing knives sticking out the front. So whether he's going to throw all of them at once or he's going to punch someone like that with a knife sticking out the front of his hand, that's pretty cool. He also have a bigger fighting knife that he can sheath at his waist or hold in his right hand. Now let's do some quick size comparison. This guy is very normal, so he falls pretty much in that normal 6 inch, a little bit taller than 6 inch scale. We're going to bring in a couple of human size figures so you guys have an idea. First, we brought Domino back into the frame, standing beside Longshot, our two characters that can manipulate probabilities and luck. I think we can see that Domino actually looks like she is taller than Longshot, which is kind of strange because I'm pretty sure Domino is not supposed to be this tall. I mean, a lot of that is her poofy, huge hair, but still, I, I, I think this is an ongoing complaint a lot of collectors have toward Marvel Legends and Hasbro in general. Is their female characters just seem to be getting taller and taller, and a lot of time when when you look at them on their own, they seem okay, but when you stand them next to a human figure, like a male figure, like Longshot, who's like 6'2", then yeah, like so I'm pretty sure Domino is nowhere near 6 feet tall. So this is a little bit wonky. Uh, but that aside, they do look pretty cool together. And here is a question for thoughts. Since both of them can manipulate probability, do you think Longshot would be able to make Domino fall in love with him? And of course, we can't do this without Captain America. Captain America looks more or less the same height as Longshot, but definitely seems beefier because Longshot is a more slender character. And then we bring in Spider-Man, which again, it's kind of strange that Spider-Man and Longshot are pretty much the same height. Similar in build as well. These two actually look very similar in their size, which I think again is either Longshot is too small or Spider-Man is too big, because I'm pretty sure Spider-Man is not 6 foot 2 inches tall. And even though these two have never met before, uh, we want to do a little face-off of the knife throwing guys. So here is Longshot throwing against Death Dealer from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Ring. Uh, Another really, really cool figure this Death Dealer is. In the movie, he's never been called Death Dealer. He's that guy with a that assassin with a white mask who tortured Shang-Chi when Shang-Chi was training. The guy who's always got a pair of knives. That's the guy. So yeah, this guy actually faces off against Longshot really nicely, even though, like I said, they're not even from the same universe or anything. But yeah, one knife thrower to another. These two display pretty cool together like this. In the end, Longshot is a cool character, a good-looking character with a good-looking action figure, and I hope after today's episode you are somewhat inspired to go out there, make your own luck, and whatever you do, good luck.